here for part 2 of the Q&A. Now, we will be focusing... What the hell? Okay, questions. How do you get your question answered? You head to the website. HaveHopeFootballHot.com, the website. And you scroll down to contact us, put your name, put your email, and write a question. Football and non-football related questions are much obliged and encouraged. So, change. Let's roll. Okay. First question here. Nicholas. Greetings, HH. Recently, there are reports that Real Madrid are preparing a 200 million budget for a strike in the summer. So I was thinking, is there any lifeline in which Mbappe can sign for Real Madrid still? Because I know that there's an agreement between Monaco and PSG to let Mbappe sign for them on a permanent in the summer. Recently, Emery has been benching Mbappe and rotating a lot. And after this season, I'm sure Zidane and Real Madrid will be looking to replace Benzema or a left winger. Can Mbappe decline the permanent move to PSG if he's unhappy with his first loan season, or is he obligated, which would be sad? Thanks. Keep up the work. I mean, Mbappe has the ultimate decision, I believe. It depends now. It depends what the deal is. If a deal has already been made and there's already been an agreement that Mbappe has been privy to, then there we go. So we have to know what the agreement was between Monaco and PSG, and now Mbappe is involved in that. If there's just an agreement between the both of those clauses, but Mbappe's agent said, I have the freedom to decline and move away after the loan deal, then therefore. So the answer is that we have to know what the details of that is. I don't see Mbappe leaving PSG because I feel that Mbappe, he works at PSG, he fits, he works really well, which is what I think that surprises me the most is how well he works with Neymar. I feel that they're actually on the same footballing wavelength. So, and I think for Mbappe, I mean, I would advise him to stay at PSG. I think he will stay at PSG. It's in France, and I think he likes the French environment, and I think that he sees PSG as a project that he has a part of. Whereas that if he's going to Real Madrid, he's just being a piece that is added onto a dynasty that's already been built, but he's helping to build a dynasty which is far more exciting, especially for a young player. So unfortunately, I do see him staying. Although if he was for Real Madrid, it would be huge because Benzema's crap. Mike Jeffries, hey HH, who do you think will win PSG versus Real Madrid with both teams having their best possible lineup in the Champions League? That's a tough one, but I'd have to go with Real Madrid. Best lineups in a knockout game, I have to trust the team that is much more experienced in these situations. I'm not going to go by talent. PSG may have probably the most talented players man for man. I mean, just between Neymar and flipping Mbappe and you throw in Verratti in then a possible pass, Pastore and Dani Alves, that's a crazy team. But I just think that Real Madrid, they've been there. They've done that so many times. They know how to go. And having experience of playing two legs in a Champions League knockout is huge, is massive. So I think for that reason, I would pick Real Madrid over PSG in that situation. Although that would be a pretty amazing game. Paul Sokjian. Hi again, HH, the best football analyst in the world. Thank you. Love your content. You once said Mourinho's Inter that won the treble in 2010 and the great side of Ajax in the mid-90s had solved the teams that stand out in the modern era. As wondering as great as those two sides were, do you consider them to be better than the other greats such as Juve 96-98, United 99, Bayern 2013, Barcelona 08-11, in my opinion the best one of the lot, Milan 94. And in general, how do those great sides compare to the greats of all such as Liverpool in the 80s, Ajax and Bayern in the 70s, or Benfica in the 60s, and the legendary Real that won 5 in a row in the 50s? Well, the Real that won 5 in a row in the 50s, who was there? You know, what competition did they really have? I think that it's very difficult to say which team would have done better, but keeping in with this question, the 94 Milan team was pretty strong. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that was either Capello or Sacchi. I'm trying to think of which was, I think the Arrigo Sacchi Milan was one of the 80s, I think, or the early 90s. The Bayern 2013 was a very, very good team. That was a very good team. But I think I've got to, I stick by my Inter Milan 2010. My Inter Milan 2010 and the mid-90s Ajax team. I think that mid-90s Ajax team is arguably one of the most talented teams that has ever been seen. You know, that team had Kanu, Finidi George, Bergkamp, Overmars, Clive. That team was disgusting. The De Boer brothers, that was Van der Sar. That's arguably one of the most talented teams in Champions League history, and players who grew and became legends. But I would still say that, the Inter Milan team of 2010, I think because, not that they were the most talented, I just think that system was just so strong. I think that system that they had of being defensively strong and being able to just score when they want to and just have a very effective tactic of creating chances just meant that basically that team was just built for winning games. As in, these other teams are just really good teams, amazing teams. Inter Milan teams was no. This is a team built for just winning. This is just a winning team. So I would still keep faith in the Inter Milan 2010 team. But it would be interesting though if you could do an experiment and just have the Inter Milan 2010 team against those teams from the 50s, 60s, and so forth. PQU Disney. Hello HH. Do you think politics should have a place in football? In the World Cup draw the other week, Putin was in attendance and gave us a speech despite not having a job in football. And recently, this whole Catalonia independence issue has shown that politics have an effect on football. As soon as when Barcelona's game against Las Palmas was played at an empty stadium, and in the last few weeks, Guardiola has started to wear a yellow ribbon on his jacket publicly during press conferences and games to show his support to jailed Catalonians who are pushing for independence. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Politics is life. I mean, politics shouldn't have the name politics because I think when politics is given that name of politics, it demeans it and it puts it in a pigeonhole. Politics is life, and you can't escape life. Doesn't matter where you're in sports, you're taking a crap on the toilets, you're scuba diving, you're swimming, or you're playing video games, or you're on flipping Neptune. Politics is life, and you've got to deal with life every single day. So there will always be a place for politics in every facet of society because politics is how we live our life. It is what makes up who we are. It's what guides our principles. So I think 100% politics is something that cannot be avoided and it's something that you will always have to face up to. Denying it and putting it to one side just doesn't make any sense. Bruno Alves. Hey HH. You made it very clear that you didn't want Portugal in your group, and you also were pretty pissed you have gotten Argentina. So if you could, would you trade Argentina or Portugal, or would you keep Argentina? I'd keep Argentina, because in my opinion, Portugal are a better team than Argentina. Just like Argentina just have the wild card of Messi. I think that Nigeria would definitely struggle against both Argentina and Portugal because Nigeria have the youngest team out there who are also very inexperienced, but I would find it very difficult to see how Nigeria would beat Portugal because I think Portugal are better tactically, better defensively, and would just be a lot more difficult to play. Whereas against Argentina, as you saw in the World Cup in 2014, Nigeria can score against Argentina because Argentina will give you chances and they're very open. So Nigeria have a better chance of beating Argentina than Portugal, where I don't see how Nigeria would have those many chances against Portugal, who are very well defensively drilled by Santos. So no, I wouldn't trade. I would keep things as they are. Daniel Ashite. Hello, HH. As I was thinking about the World Cup, two players popped into my head. Lucas Moura and Javier Pastore. With Nebabkov clearly running the front three, these two may be looking for a way into the World Cup or for game time. Where do you think Moura and Pastore could go to advance their careers? That's a great question. Great question. For Lucas Moura, Lucas Moura could walk. I'll tell you this one. That's actually a very, very good question. If Coutinho leaves in January, Liverpool should get Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura would be perfect for Klopp's system. And as for Pastore, I believe he would work very well. I'm looking at two teams. United. United as the number 10. I think he would work very well at United. I think him playing in that number 10 role with his amazing technical ability and on-the-ball talent, I think would be amazing. I think Pastore for Man United and Lucas Moura for Liverpool, I think those are two ways that those guys should go. Yeah, man, that's a very good question, man. So yeah, 100%, and they have to leave. I think if these guys want to get into both Brazil and Argentina, they have to move. Although I do feel that Pastore, despite lack of game time, can still get into the Argentina squad. Lucas Moura, he needs game time. I think Lucas Moura will have a much more difficult uphill task of getting into the Brazil squad. It looks pretty stacked if he doesn't have game time because Tite already has a pretty filled up squad. Daniel, hey HH, I wanted to say thank you for being the only football analyst I've seen, including those for being the only football analyst I have seen, including those clowns on ESPN FC, and every English clown pointed to who recognizes Portugal as a threat in the World Cup. I'm Portuguese, and I believe we have a really good team. Not favourites, of course, but at least dark horses. But it upsets me when all these pundits don't seem to recognize this and dismiss Portugal as not doing anything. Apparently, according to other analysts, England can make it to the Alright. According to can make it to the semis, but Portugal will lose to Spain for sure and lose. Honestly, man for man, every player in Portugal's 11 is better than England's 11 except Harry Kane. What do you think? For example, I'll choose William Carvalho over Eric Dyer any day, or Patricio over Hart, or Bernardo Silva over Ali. But since they play in the Premier League, they're better. Anyways, my question is, why do all these pundits disregard Portugal? Is it because they don't know our players well? They hate Cristiano the way we play us? Is it something else? Peace and best luck to Nigeria. Yeah, we're going to need it. Yeah, I mean, anybody who says that England are on the same level as Portugal, you're stupid. You know, because let's rewind. Let's rewind ourselves back to 2006 when England faced Portugal. I believe it was in the second round of quarterfinal. I think it was in the quarters, I believe. A much weaker Portuguese team. And Portugal beat them on penalties. Not only did they beat them on penalties, England were far stronger. That was the so-called England golden generation of Lampard, Gerrard, and so forth. And Portugal easily outplayed them for 120 minutes. Now, we fast forward to now, and this isn't England's golden generation. Those guys from before are considered better than the England team of now. And this is Portugal's golden generation. So this Portuguese team as a whole are better than the Portuguese team of 2006. So by logic, how are England on the same level as Portugal then? And it's as simple as that. Simple as that. So yeah, look, I mean, whoever's saying that is a flipping clown. Thanks for the question. Name J. Just a quick shout out to Double H. Big up your work. I stopped watching Sky Sports post-match and match previews. These pundits are garbage. They don't know what they're talking about. They just talk BS all day. I tune in to Double H, aka the kid. Best pundits out there and predictions are very accurate. Well, you know, I wouldn't put money on it. Keep up the hard work. Example, email me back. Okay. Thank you. I will try and email you back. Well done, guys. HH, is Lamb potentially a horseman? And what's your thoughts on 50 Cent? Bart Simpson, potentially, but I think he falls short of being a horseman because I don't think he had as great and as everlasting the kind of impact that the Five Horsemen have. You know, I told you guys, one of the highest accolades in football is being a horseman. It is very difficult to be a horseman, extremely difficult. So very few players can attain that thing. So I think for Bart Simpson, despite his accolades, how good he was, I thought that I believe he is the best right back of all time. I just think he falls short because he doesn't really have that kind of X factor and that everlasting impact that the others had. 50 Cent was an amazing rapper when he did his mixtapes. Produced one of the rap albums of the decade in Get Rich or Die Trying. After that, he sold out. So when he got money, he sold out and has never been as good since he didn't have any money and had to really try hard to really appeal to people. Simple as that. SB. Hey HH, thanks for answering my question last week. This time I wanted to ask you that why didn't the golden generation of England get the success that we're capable of getting with the likes of Scholes, Beckham, Gerrard, Lampard, Ferdinand Ferdinand, etc. And do you like pineapple on your pizza? I used to like pineapple on my pizza, but now I don't. I've not really had pineapple on my pizza for a long time. I normally go either the veggie pizza or pepperoni, but I've been going off meat a bit. But although, as he says right now, I may be thinking of getting back on pineapple on my pizza. Thank you for reminding me. I may actually want to do that because I've not had pineapple on my pizza for a very long time. So thank you for reminding me about that. The England Golden Generation, I think, is very simple. I think it was to do with a couple of things. First thing was that they couldn't deal with the pressure because of the Golden Generation and because English journalists like to hype things up. They couldn't deal with the hype and the expectation. So I think they crumbled under the pressure. The second thing was, when you look at all of these players, were they really good individually? Or were they good because of the system they were in and the other players around them? Maybe Lampard was so good because he played alongside Drogba, Essien, Robben. Maybe Gerrard was so good because he played alongside Alonso. Maybe Bex was so good because he had Van Nistelrooy, Giggs. So same thing with Scholes, same thing with Rio Ferdinand. So how good were they really? Because I just feel that if you're really truly good individually, you should be able to deal with the pressure, because I think the pressure of England is more than the pressure of Italy, of Brazil. As in, no team has more pressure than Brazil. No team. Because, my gosh, they are seen as the beacon and as the team that everybody wants to be. That they are literally the pinnacle of international football, the pinnacle of football, full stop. So that's just me being real. So I just think, they couldn't deal with the pressure. People hyped them up too much. Were they really as good as people said they really were? And they were just not able to really rise as individuals. And I think they had a lack of character and personality. Because you need character and personality when you're playing international football, because it is a whole different kind of football that you're playing. AJ. Hey, HH. Do Liverpool have a realistic shot at getting Aubameyang in January? If yes, what effect will he have on their team? That's a good question. Do Liverpool have a realistic shot at? I think they do. I mean, because we're hearing that Everton want to pay £60 million bid for him. But Aubameyang, my God, if it's between Liverpool and Everton, I think Aubameyang will choose Liverpool. So if Aubameyang wants to go and Dortmund wants to sell 100%, I think he's actually unhappy in Dortmund. And Aubameyang will work very, very well in Liverpool's system. I don't know how well he'll work in Everton's system, but in Liverpool's system that is very free-flowing, where the striker can be interchangeable and there's a lot of spacing within there, very similar to Dortmund's system, he would work beautifully well. So 100%, I think Aubameyang would be devastating, and he would be far more clinical than Firmino. So look, if Liverpool got Aubameyang in January, I think it would be too much for them to win the Premier League title, but I think that they'll definitely, they definitely take out a lot of guys, and they'll definitely, if they're still in a cup competition, they could definitely win a cup competition very easily. Max Okundov, hey HH, going into the World Cup, do you think Portugal has the best defense? If Swansea get relegated, do you think that they will get Renato Sanches left off the squad, and with him not being selected for the Confederations Cup, do you think he'll go or no? Thank you for putting out the best football analysis. You're the best. Thank you. Yeah, I do feel that Portugal will have one of. You know what? I think Portugal probably have the best defense because Italy aren't there. And which other tough defensive teams? I think Uruguay are always good defensively, but I would have to say Portugal probably have the best defense because of how good Santos is defensively. And I still think Pepe is that dude. I still think Pepe is still a thug. So I think Portugal definitely have the best defense. Renato Sanches, man. Yeah, I think it's over for him, man. Yeah. I mean, even if Swansea don't get relegated, I just don't know what happens. But you know what? Whatever happens with him this season, I will still take Sanchez. I will still take him because I still believe this kid is very talented. And I still believe that if you don't put him in the Portuguese squad or you bring him on, put him in the squad. He doesn't have to start. But I still think that there is something that this kid has. It just didn't work out for him at Bayern. It's not worked out for him at Swansea. But I think in that Portuguese team, I would still play him. So for me, I would still pick him despite whatever happens with him on Swansea. And Ben Joel. Hey, Halfop. My name is Benjamin. And I've been watching your content since the collaboration you did with 100% Chelsea back in September, as I'm a proud Chelsea supporter. As I'm a player from my local school team, I wanted to ask you about improving my shooting. I'm an attacking central player and right-footed, but have improved my left foot to the point that passing and finishing from close distance is not a problem. However, I would like to hear advice on how to properly shoot while on the move with both feet from set pieces, particularly like a Bale or a Cristiano or Ronaldo. Thank you, and please continue your collaborations with other YouTube channels. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'd like to hear advice on how to properly shoot while on the move with both feet and from set pieces. Set pieces, and I think I said this to someone before, with the set pieces is very simple. You have to go out and train. No, first with set pieces, obviously you have to go out and just train a lot, but you have to decide your style based off how you strike the football. Because you have to decide whether do you strike the football like a Pirlo or do you strike it like a Messi. Because with a Messi, you can see he places it. With a Pirlo, you can see it's a mixture of power and placement. And with a Cristiano or a Bale, you can see it's much more about power. You have to decide which one works best for you for how you strike the ball. And for shooting while on the move, again, it's about your body movement, because it's not only about how you strike the ball, it is how you move with the ball. And when you look at a Cristiano or a Bale, look at their body posture. Go on YouTube and just look at what their body posture is like. Forget about their feet. We know that you can strike the ball. How about that you're saying you're very good at close range means that we know you can strike the ball. But knowing how to now strike the ball with movement goes to what your body posture is like. When you look at Cristiano, look at his upper body, his lower body, and how his upper body is like. With Bale, look at what his posture is like. And the key thing is, like, because again, you have YouTube and you have computers, slow it down and look at how they are when they're about to strike the ball, and look at their finishing position when they finish striking the ball. Every part of their body movement and every part of their body and their posture is critical to how they're able to get the shot with power, on target, and with accuracy. So everything about your head, your chest, your midriff, everything with how your body posture is very important into being able to strike the ball accurately, with precision, with power, on the move. Thank you. So we got another one from Max Akundov. What's up, my brother? With Marco Reus's contract expiring after next season and him giving hints that he may leave, do you think he will leave Dortmund this summer? I think 40 million would do it. The man lives in a hospital. And who are the teams that would take a chance on him? And do you think he'll accept a secondary role on a winning team? Or should he even consider retirement after all these injuries? Thank you for everything. Keep it up. For Reus isn't leaving Dortmund, and I think a couple of reasons. First reason is his injuries. No one's going to take him. As in, if you're a top team, you'd be mad to take a guy who is that injured, because there's just no point. It's too much of a risk. Second point, I think, is because he is in love with Dortmund. You know, he feels like since he left Mönchengladbach to move to Dortmund, he feels this is his home. This is where he feels most at home at, and I think that this is where he feels like, yeah, I can really cherish and flourish. So 100%, I do feel that this is definitely he will definitely remain at Dortmund. And I think I was looking at something on Twitter, looking at, I think, Reus's performance against Real Madrid. If Reus did not get injured, man, this guy would definitely be one of the best players in his position. And I think we have been robbed. Same thing with Ilkay Gundogan. We've been robbed of a great talent, because when Reus was on it, this guy was exceptionally good. An exceptionally good attacking midfielder. A guy who actually reminded me of Nedved, as in the runner from midfield. So just unfortunate that injuries has meant that we've not been able to see him at his very best. But he will remain at Dortmund. He ain't going nowhere. Guys, thank you very much for watching this. Remember, please support the Patreon. If you love and appreciate my analysis, think of the Patreon to support your boy Halfop, as well as gaining access to even more analysis, because I put more exclusive analysis on my Patreon page. So yeah, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed what you heard. And that's it, you know. I will see you next week, next Friday, to answer more of your questions. Peace out, stay true, and be black.